this is Robert Ivy from GCA Technology Services, and today in the GCA labs we're going to talk about how to integrate your Epic system with your Identity IQ system. So in order to do provisioning inside of Identity IQ, you have to have a connector that connects. The Epic connector provided by SailPoint allows you to manage your EMP records. Your EMP record is essentially the representation of an account within the Epic system. One thing to be careful of when you're doing this is the SCR link. An SCR record also exists in the Epic system, and the SCR record is for providers. In the event that you go to provision an EMP record, there is a field in there that must contain the link to the SCR record. If you send an update to the EMP record and you exclude the SCR link, you will break the bond between the provider's account that they log in for access and the SCR, and that's a bad thing. So when you aggregate from your Epic system, one of the things to be very careful is you do need to store inside of your identity cube the SCR link, or the value for the SCR number that attaches to their EMP record. Once you have the EMP records, there's two constructs that make up the access. There's templates and there's subtemplates. The template is the primary one. You can only have one template. That's the primary list of access. Then in the subtemplates, there's actually the ability to have up to 7 subtemplates. One thing to be very careful, this is one of the only systems I've ever seen with this, the order of the subtemplates matter. So if you have subtemplate A in slot 1 and subtemplate B in slot 2, it is not the same as if B was in slot 1 and A was in slot 2. Be aware of this when you go to roll this out, otherwise your Epic subject matter experts are going to come screaming at you because order matters on your subtemplates. Now, once we have the ability to provision your EMP record, preserving our SCR links, our templates and our subtemplates, how does this help the organization gain efficiency? That's where we're going to come over and we're going to discuss how the SailPoint role model is going to help us. Typically, what you would have to do if you had a remote ER physician is that person would have to first start as a basic hospital user. This will give them something such as their main account, maybe an Active Directory, and maybe an email account. So now they can log on to the network if they're at the hospital and do work, but they still don't have access to anything. So the next thing we have to do is, well, this physician is remote. So in order to enable them to work remote, they still have to have the network account, that's the overlap, and that's okay. But they also have to have a VPN account, and hopefully at our hospital, in order to VPN, we want to have multi-factor authentication. So if they use some sort of MFA system, we either need to issue them a card or a token, or we need to create them an account so they can log in and download the app or something like that. Once they have these two, now they have the ability to actually log in remotely from their clinic or wherever it is, but they still don't have access into the primary thing that they're remoting in for, which is Epic. So now, because we have a connector into Epic, we can then take the template as well as the subtemplates and put them onto this Epic ER physician role, bundle the Epic ER physician role, the remote user role, and the hospital user role in order to create a new top-level role called a remote ER physician. Here's where our efficiency gains come. When we have a new physician who comes on board, and we need to get them straight to providing care, we don't want to have to wait while we unwind all of these different entitlements that have to get provisioned for the user. Most organizations, they go into a ticketing system, they ask for something, and they'll get the Epic ER physician. But this is a remote physician. How are they supposed to get in? Now they have to get the VPN account. Oh, oops, we forgot the MFA. Now we have to issue the MFA. The idea of this is it allows us to create a bundle of all of this access all at once and assign it directly to the new ER physician. And once this gets approved, all of the access gets provisioned all simultaneously, and the ER physician can start working immediately and not have to worry about all of the different complications with determining what all the access is. That is the efficiency gain that can happen just from this. Also, on an organizational risk perspective, now we know exactly what they have. It's roles-based access, and we're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping that we get everything. That's how entitlement creep happens, and we don't end up enforcing too much, because what will happen is they'll get way too much access in Epic while they're trying to figure it out. They'll get too much access within the network or the VPN. That's what we're trying to avoid. And that is how we can provision access into Epic using SailPoint Identity IQ, using roles-based access in SailPoint Identity IQ.